Hey guys, welcome back to some more videos. Horrorboy465, aka Nate Murphy, the Explorer of Horror here. Welcome back to some more videos, and today we'll be doing a take 2 on my DVD collection, my horror movie collection. That's because this is going to be much more of a up close, you guys get to see the collection, and hopefully this is a lot more of a faster process than my previous video. Um, that is probably the most popular video on my channel. I believe it is the most popular video on the channel. So thank you guys for supporting that, and decided to make this video and show you guys sort of a more up close look at the collection here. This is not all of the collection, so I know you guys saying this is a pretty crappy collection, but this is just one. Over there, we got another shelf over there, as well as that shelf over there. Today, I'm gonna be getting to these three shelves in a bit, all three of them. I've also got DVD racks up there with some DVDs in them, but I'll get to that a little bit later. But now, we are going to be doing, start off on this shelf. But before I go to this shelf, I wanted to show you guys some DVDs right here. This is for the Zombie Week, so let me just get these down. Try to give you guys as much light as possible. I'll just do that. Put the flashlight on, but, here you guys go. This is for the Zombie or the Week of the Dead. I have these DVDs and Blu-rays set out to review them, well, watch them, then review them for the Week of the Dead, which of course is July 20th. Do not miss it, guys. It'll be awesome. And this is the stack of DVDs and Blu-rays that I own. There's not as many as were in the video because some of those movies I didn't own, but I have seen them. Or they're on Netflix, or there's some way I can see them, but these are pretty much all the ones that I own on DVD and Blu-ray. Now, of course, you'll see some of these movies in here that should be in other shelves, but are not, so we'll get to the sequels to these films soon. But, first off, we have the Blu-ray 2-disc Ultimate Edition of Zombie, trying to get that glare from the flashlight out of the way. Really, really good Blu-ray. A lot of features to it. If you're a fan of Zombie, I love this movie. I cannot wait to review this movie for the Week of the Dead. Big fan of this movie. I love that cover art, and if you guys can see in the background, I'm not even sure if I can. Hang on, I'm gonna see if I can get an up close look at the case, which if I turn the light off, it's not even you're not even gonna be able to see it. But if you guys can see it in the background, all kinds of zombies. And really, really cool background. And of course, you got the main zombie on the front cover. Awesome cover. And if you open it up, you get a 2-disc set. And this is a brand new disc set. Got it off of Amazon. And paid, a decent amount of money for it. I mean, it wasn't a total, crap ton of money. But, got some really good design to it. Of course, that famous scene right there, which yes, I'll be talking about in that video. But you see the back of it, and if you guys can see that, it's a little blurry. But a lot of features are on this. You get commentaries, you get tactical trailers, TV spots, all kinds of cool stuff. And it's a really well done Blu-ray. Looks great, sounds great. And if you are a fan of Lucio Fulci's Zombie, then definitely pick it up. I really enjoyed it. And I'm a big fan of this film. It's definitely a classic zombie movie. I love this movie. I can't wait to review it. Next film is The Return of the Living Dead. This is the Collector's Edition DVD. Really well done DVD. Has a really cool feature on it called The Decade of Darkness, which talks about all the 80s horror films. And really well done. Also talks about a little bit about the 70s horror films and how the 90s horror films were. Really good DVD, good picture, although this DVD cover art, I don't know, it's a little too green, but I would much rather prefer the old cover art, the classic one that I used for the trailer to the Week of Dead Season 2, trailer number 2. That poster in that video for this film, I prefer that much more than this, but nonetheless, for features and for picture and for sound, well done. Also got Dead Snow, the 2-disc special edition. I actually, believe it or not, have not watched this film yet. I really do want to. I heard it's actually a really good film. but this is disc 2 bonus material and disc 1. Now, what's funny to me is that there's disc 1. What's funny to me is that this DVD actually costs less than the one disc DVD. I'm not really sure why. This cost about $10. The other one cost about $15, so I'm not really sure why. This is I believe, the uncut version. I'm not even sure this had an R rating, if it had an R rating, but I think it is the uncut. Yeah, it's not rated, so it's definitely the uncut version. So I'm not even sure why the other DVD costs more than this. This has got a lot of features to it, and I can't wait to watch it. I haven't seen it yet, and I'm really excited to watch it. So that's Dead Snow. I've also got Quarantine. In my opinion, a very, very scary horror film. Really atmospheric. I really enjoyed it. Decent DVD. Not much compared to the other ones, but it's a decent DVD. Of course, got the disc in there. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have a runny nose tonight. I'm kind of not sick, but, I have a runny nose. And, of course, I got a Zombies 4 movie collection that comes with The Crazies, The Demented, My Mises Not Living Dead, and The Terror Experiment. Now, through my editing skills, which are not really the best, but still, I will see you guys in a second with all these discs out right here for you guys to see them. And as you guys can see, I got the discs out now. The Crazies, The Demented, My Mises Not Living Dead, and The Terror Experiment. Now, The Crazies remake, I really loved it. The Demented, I'm a big fan of this film. It's underrated. It's definitely a lower budget movie, but it was done really, really well. My Mises Not Living Dead, again, a very low budget film, but done very, very well. And again, Terror Experiment, an extremely low budget film, even lower budget than the other films, but still I found it to be decent and okay. It's not the best zombie movie, but it is definitely a decent zombie film. So, guys, you guys will see another cut and place us back into the case, and then we will go on to the next DVD. And of course, up next we got Shaun of the Dead. Great movie. Once again, I cannot wait to talk about this movie on the Week of the Dead. Got Shaun of the Dead. We got 2012 Zombie Apocalypse. I'm not really excited to see this movie because I do believe, yes, if you guys see right there, it was made by the Asylum. So I don't know. I mean, the poster looks pretty good, but as far as the movie overall, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be good or not. I mean, I hope it's good, but I don't know. Maybe it could possibly be a good movie. So yeah, 2012 Zombie Apocalypse. Next up is Rise of the Zombies. Once again, it is made by the Asylum. Once again, not really sure how this is going to be. From what I've seen of it so far, it kind of bored me, so I wasn't getting into it at all. It was starting to make me sleepy, so I wasn't really getting into it. But, if I could watch it again, it'd be decent. A decent low-budget zombie movie. But, yeah. From what I've seen of it so far, I got really, really bored with it. But, yeah, Rise of the Zombies. And, of course, we've got Resident Evil Degeneration. This is the first animated film. There's another film that's called Damnation, which I want to see. Big fan of this. I cannot wait to review this movie as well. I mean, they're pretty much, except for really enough these two, but, besides these two, the rest of these movies I can really, because 2012 Zombie Apocalypse and Rise of the Zombies, besides those two, the other movies I'm really excited to get to review, but, as well as this film, Resident Evil Degeneration. Really, really good animated film. I can't wait to review it. Really good special effects for its time. I believe it was made in 2008. Well made, well done. Definitely a well-made movie. So yeah, Resident Evil Degeneration. And now, come to the last movie in this little pile right here. Slither. Really fun movie. I really enjoyed it. I know putting this on the list for the Week of the Dead is kind of controversial because These themes are more like creatures, but the reason I put this in the Week of the Dead is because these themes crawl on people's brains and basically turn them into zombies. So it's a creature feature flick, but at the same time you have zombies in there at the same time. Um, but yeah, definitely controversial for being a zombie movie, but I consider it to be a zombie movie. So yeah, Slither. So you guys see a quick cut, and we'll be back on this shelf up here. And on this shelf up here, we've got the Friday the 13th box set, which I will not be getting all these out, but I will show you guys pretty much the box art. And I'll be, showing you guys the case, but I don't know if I'm going to get the disc out. Or I'm not even sure I'm going to take them out all the way, but, I showed this off in my other video, so I'm not going to take all these out because it takes forever to put them back in there. But yeah, the Friday the 13th 8 movie box set. Also, we have the Friday the 13th Deluxe Edition 4-pack. Awesome. Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning, this Deluxe Edition. Awesome movie, my favorite. Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. Another classic movie in the franchise. Friday the 13th Part 7, A New Blood. It's okay. Decent. Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Probably one of the crappiest ones in there. Yeah, definitely one of the crappiest ones. Jason Goes to Hell. Actually a very underrated movie. I actually love this movie. Well done. And the reason I didn't want to show you guys these discs is because I'll show one of them, but that's pretty much what they look like on the inside for every single movie. Pretty much that. That's all they look like on the inside. So that's why I didn't really show you guys the DVD. On this one, it's a little bit different. You got sort of a, gosh dang it. It's hard to do this video with just one hand. But there's a disc to Jason Goes to Hell. It's okay. But really big fan of this movie. Very underrated movie. And it gets a lot of hate, but I really love it. Now this one, I hate. Jason X. In my opinion, the worst one in the franchise. Looks silly, sounds silly, it seems silly, it's a stupid idea, and I don't know. I don't like Jason X. It's not funny to me. The comedy doesn't work. And the death scenes really ain't that much to, brag about. I mean, you think about it, there's liquid nitrogen scene, which was really cool, and maybe the virtual realm murders were probably the only ones I can really remember. I can't remember any other ones. But yeah, Jason X, pretty bad movie. Yeah, pretty crappy. There's one thing about this movie that I liked, and that was, there's obviously a couple things, but one of them being that Kane Hodder is in this movie, did a good job, great performance as Jason, and I also like the design for the Uber Jason. Also, there's a documentary on here called The Many Faces, I believe. This is The Many Lives of Jason Voorhees documentary. Really well done. So yeah, that's Jason X. Friday the 13th, 2009 remake, the Killer Cut. Basically, you're getting a lot of gore, a lot of nudity, to the point where they were trying to force nudity in there, which, don't get me wrong, it's good seeing some nudity in a horror film, especially in a Friday the 13th film. But in this movie, I don't know, they kind of just forced it in there too much. And don't get me wrong, it was nice to look at some naked chicks in this movie because they were hot. Naked chicks in this movie were freaking hot. But, it felt like they kept relying on the whole sex aspect of it. I don't know, just my opinion. They kept using it over and over and over again, so whatever, but it is what it is. I'm not getting tired of seeing some naked chicks in some horror films because, who's gonna get tired of that? But his name was Jason. This is a documentary from 2009, I believe. This is It's okay. It's definitely not as good as the Nightmare on Elm Street documentary or the Halloween 25 Years of Terror documentary. Definitely not nearly as good as those documentaries, but it's okay. I really want to get the Camp Crystal Lake Memories DVD or Blu-ray. I can get it on Amazon. Saving up some money for that so I can get it one day. But for right now, this is the only one that I have. His name was Jason. It was decent. And before I get on to the next, DVD franchise, I got this DVD. Friday the 13th Part 2. This is, of course, I bought it just because it's the classic poster. Really enjoy that poster. So that's the reason of why I bought this one. One of the original Paramount released DVDs. But yeah, Friday the 13th Part 2. Great movie. And now we're going to be looking at the Hellraiser DVDs. This is, of course, Hellraiser 1. This is the Anchor Bay Collection DVD. A very, very well made DVD. And I really enjoyed it. It's well made, has a lot of features to it. And I believe you get a commentary. If I can open this up. Hang on, guys. I believe you get a commentary. Yeah, you get a commentary with Clive Barker, Ashley Lawrence, and moderated by screenwriter Peter Atkins. My bad. But a lot of good features on here. TV spots, still gallery, stuff like that, trailers. Good DVD, and it's classic. Hellraiser is a classic. So that's Hellraiser. And we got Hellbound Hellraiser 2. And it's an okay DVD. Of course, again by Anchor Bay. Really enjoyed this sequel. Definitely, probably one of the greatest sequels out there. I consider it to be. A lot more Pinhead in this film. I definitely enjoyed the atmosphere in this film. I like the fact that they go inside the box. A lot of cool stuff in this movie. I would probably say that this is better than the original movie. But of course, we're talking about my favorite movie up next. But Hellbound Hellraiser 2, probably I'd say my second favorite in the franchise. And then Hellraiser being my third favorite. But yeah, definitely a big step up from the first movie. So, also, show you guys the disc. Really, really cool looking disc. But hang on, guys. Let me cut this real fast and get some of this cleaned up, and then I'll see you guys again. And guys, welcome back. And now we're getting to my favorite of the franchise, and that is Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth. This is a double pack with Hellraiser 3 and 4. Not much for features. There's absolutely no features on this DVD. I'm not even sure the other DVDs have features. But Hellraiser 3 is my favorite. It has some really cool ideas behind it. Really enjoyed the idea of it taking place in this sort of, nightclub and, really cool characters, really cool Cenobites. And this is probably the movie with the most screen time for Pinhead. So that's what I really enjoyed about the movie, is that you get a lot of screen time from Pinhead. Hellraiser Bloodline is definitely a decent movie. It's underrated. It gets hated a lot. I will admit this, though, the space aspect got a little bit stupid. But, sorry about that, guys. I had to cut real fast there. But like I was saying, Hellraiser Bloodline is an underrated film. A lot of people hate it because it takes place in outer space, but I actually enjoyed it. Not the fact that it took place in outer space. That was a little bit silly. But the rest of the movie I thought was really good. I like the idea of taking place on... I like the idea of taking place as of this dude's bloodline and his son getting hunted down and his son getting hunted down. It's a cool idea. Cool disc art. I would admit that. Some really good disc art there. And on to the next DVD. This is the Prophecy and Hellraiser collection. The only reason why I bought this was because of the Hellraiser movies. You get, if you guys can see, Hellraiser 5, 6, 7, and you get 8. And this was about $3 for this DVD. You also get the Prophecy movies, which I don't really care about that franchise. I believe when I got, there was no Prophecy collection in there, so I was kind of shocked by that. But
I only got the Hellraiser movies, which I was just fine with because that's the only ones I wanted. Because the Prophecy franchise I didn't really care about. I'm not really interested in seeing those movies, but these movies I need to get. This is Hellraiser, I believe, 3 and 4, and the other side is Hellraiser 5. And of course, this is Hellraiser, Hellseeker, Deader, and Hellworld. Good artwork on the disc, but the movies suck. Which I'll get back on the case, and I'll point out the good movies and the bad movies. Of course, you guys know how I feel about these two movies. Hellraiser Inferno was when the series went downhill. I hate this movie. So freaking boring. I get it. I mean, some people actually enjoyed the idea of it, taking place as a point of view from detective, but I didn't care for the movie. It was very boring. There was very little Pinhead in it, and in my opinion, it sucked. Hellraiser, Hellseeker, definitely one of the worst ones in the franchise. A very boring film, and it's pretty much copycat Inferno. It's pretty much got the same twist, so that's why it also sucks because it has the same exact twist. Hellraiser Deader is by far the worst one in the franchise. This movie, I swear, maybe has Pinhead in it for about 2 to 3 minutes tops, maybe even 2 minutes tops of screen time total. That's how bad Deader is. You barely got Pinhead in there, and you got this stupid story. It's ripping off Flatliners about these people who, they commit. I believe they get killed and they get brought back to life. Some bullcrap like that, like Flatliners. Rip off of Flatliners, all it is, and then Hellraiser, Hellworld. It's bad, but it's probably better than these three movies. I find Hellworld to be a slight bit better than Inferno, Hellseeker, and Deader. I don't know, maybe because the whole online thing, and also maybe because the film's well shot. You got Lance Henriksen in there, so I mean, you got some decent themes in there, but it's still crappy. If I would still do a review on it, it'd be a rant because it's still crappy. It's still boring. There's still barely any Pinhead in it. And yeah, so Hellraiser, Hellworld, again, crap. But it's better than these three movies, in my opinion. It's better than these three movies. But yeah, that's the Prophecy and Hellraiser collection. I only got it because of these Hellraiser films right here. Because I didn't want to pay for them separately. I didn't want to waste that much money. Because all these films suck right here. These two are good. These 4 suck. These 4 movies right here, they freaking suck. So I was not gonna buy them separate. I refused to buy them separately. I figure I'd get them all in this pack. So yeah, Prophecy and Hellraiser collection. Yep. On to the next DVD shelf. This is the Nightmare on Elm Street DVDs we're talking about right now. Nightmare on Elm Street 1, classic. What more can I say about Nightmare on Elm Street that hasn't been said? It's a masterpiece, a classic. Rest in peace to Wes Craven. Made a great classic horror film. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street. Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Definitely a very weird sequel. Did reviews for all these movies, by the way. Not all these movies on this freaking video, but as far as the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, I did reviews on all these movies. But definitely a very weird movie, but yet it was still well shot. I still enjoyed it, but yeah, definitely one of the weirder ones in the franchise. Because it had the whole gay overtone theme. But, still a decent movie, but yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. It's the Dream Warriors. Sorry, guys. Every time I see this movie, I have to sing that song. Because this movie rocks. This movie rules. This movie is freaking awesome. Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. One of the best horror movie sequels of all time. I really enjoyed it. Big fan of it. My favorite one in the franchise. And yeah, so Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. Awesome. Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. Picked it up for like $3. It's a pretty bad movie. Did a rant on it. Very, very bad flick. Not good at all. we've got New Nightmare, probably one of the best ones in the series. This is, of course, again directed by Wes Craven, and I used to give this movie a lot of hate in the past. I still am not a fan of this look for Freddy Krueger. I think this just isn't that good of a look for Freddy Krueger. But the film is very well shot. You know, that has a great cast. Letting him come back to play herself. I like the idea of it taking place on the real world sort of thing, where it's sort of that movie within a movie sort of thing. But very well made movie. Probably one of the best ones in the actual. Well, probably one of the best ones in the franchise. So yeah, Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Next up is the Nightmare on Elm Street remake from 2010. And I'm going to get this out of here. Crappy movie. On to my favorite horror movie franchise, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Heck yeah. But here is the Meat Pack DVD. Wow, this is very blurry right now. Okay, refocus, camera. Refocus! But, sorry, it's so gosh dang blurry. Alright, well, hopefully that goes away. But, this is the Meat Pack edition. You open it up, and it's a pretty cool design. Gosh dang it. I might have to pause the video, and then, well, I'll just use my leg to open it. But, there's the inside of the DVD case. Really cool. Really cool disc art as well. And then we've got the regular DVD version of that. Not the Meat Pack edition, but the regular DVD. Pretty much the same thing, only that one has a different design on it. Then we've got my favorite DVD so far, the 40th anniversary edition of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This came out in 2014, and it was a well-made DVD, and my camera is blurring like crazy, but really, really cool artwork put into it. Of course, this, as you guys can see, is a doorway into the slaughter room. Well designed, very, very cool. If you guys are a fan of the Texas Massacre like myself, then you guys definitely need to pick up this DVD. I really am glad that I picked it up. Of course, one of these is missing. One of them is over at my mom's, I believe. And I was watching it over there, forgot to get it. But if you guys take all this out, you guys get the inside design of the case. Very, very cool. Very, very cool DVD. And now we get to Texas Massacre 2 Blu-ray. This is the gruesome edition, so it is the uncut version. You get a lot of features in there. I was actually very, very happy to pick this up. I do know that there is a Scream Factory edition, but honestly, guys, it quite possibly could be better than this, and it probably is way better than this. But, I'm fine owning this. It satisfies me. I mean, the new one might have like a crap ton of features compared to this, but it's got some good pictures, some good sound, so I'm gonna keep this one for a while. Maybe one day from a long time from now, but I'll get the Blu-ray from Scream Factory. But I'm pretty cool with this one, and also it's a great sequel. This is a underrated sequel. I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of this movie. I want to get a t-shirt of this poster. Looks freaking awesome, man. Imagine a t-shirt with this, man. Imagine getting a t-shirt with like, not even this, just have this, Leatherface, Texas Massacre Part 3, or having a chainsaw that says the Saw's family on a t-shirt. It'd be awesome, man. But, big fan of this movie. Underrated. It would have been a lot better if the MPAA didn't butcher this movie. But unfortunately, the MPAA had done that and cut the gore and violence down on it a lot. And, so I'm a big fan of it, though. I still think it's awesome. I still think it's probably one of my favorite ones in the franchise. If I can get the disc turned around right here. Very, very cool artwork on the disc. I remember when I bought this, is around October of 2014, I believe, is when I bought this. And it was for $5, so it was a good price. As you guys can see, the DVD is sort of wearing, but it kind of adds to the creepiness of the poster, because of the whole wearing and, there's tears and stuff like that. It kind of adds to the cover, so it doesn't bother me. But yeah, Leatherface, Texas Massacre Part 3. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And now we get to Texas Massacre, The Next Generation. I did a rant on this film. If you guys want to go see that, just look it up on the channel. It's Texas Massacre Next Generation rant. Just type it in, and you guys should just be able to find it easily. I mean, look at this freaking poster. Look at this freaking crap. What the freak did they do? What? Oh, God. Kim Henkel, man. Kim freaking Henkel. What the freak did you freaking do to this franchise? Well, what did you do to this film? What did you do? Luckily, we had this movie. Luckily, we had this, but, this movie freaking sucks. I freaking hate this movie. And then we got the remake from 2003. This is actually a very good remake. Big fan of this movie. Again, one of my favorite ones in the franchise. And it's actually a very, very cool addition because you open it up and you get 2 discs. And of course, when you fold it all out, it makes a giant chainsaw. Now, this right here was supposed to have pictures, but, there were none there when I got it, so I don't really care, though. I mean, as long as I got the DVDs and, the features, I'm fine with that, But yeah, the remake of Texas Massacre from 2003, one of my favorite remakes of all time. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad. And of course, now we get to the prequel, which I'm a big fan of. Texas Massacre: The Beginning. Now, this is the first prequel in the franchise. There's gonna be another prequel, which I don't understand how they're doing it. Again, I'm really excited for the new movie though, because it'll be my first Chainsaw Massacre movie that I've ever seen in the movie theaters. But I'm going into it hoping that it's good. I really do hope it's going to be a good movie. I don't even know why we need another prequel, but we're getting one. But The Beginning is very well made. I actually really enjoyed it. Probably one of my favorite prequels of all time. And I like how the disc sort of rips off Saw a little bit. Because instead of the saw blade that you always see on those DVDs, the chainsaws, or it's the chainsaw chain. Very, very cool looking DVD. And I do know there's a slipcover to this, but it didn't come with it, so, whatever. But yeah, Texas Massacre, The Beginning. Great movie. Great prequel. And the final one in the series so far, Texas Chainsaw 3D. This one is, it's okay. I'm a big fan of this franchise, so I can't say that I hate it. I can say that I hate Next Generation because it's honestly pure, total crap. This, I can go into it for the practical effects that are there. It's a very slick film. It's well shot. And I like the storyline. I like where they were going. Although I do hate some, like a part of the storyline that I didn't like was that they tried to make Leatherface and the family look like good guys, and you're supposed to be rooting against the family. So I'm not really sure they did that, but some of the ideas I didn't mind. But the cast was dumb, unlikable characters, and it had some really bad CGI, and the soundtrack wasn't even that memorable. So, it's okay, but it wasn't terrible. And of course, guys, the next horror franchise is the Halloween franchise. This is the 1978 classic written by John Carpenter, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. This is the Blu-ray. Beautiful Blu-ray. Awesome Blu-ray. If you're a fan of this movie, I pick it up on Blu-ray. Pick this Blu-ray up. This movie looks so good on Blu-ray. Definitely pick it up. It's well done. And I got Halloween 2 attacking my camera, but I got Halloween 2, the Blu-ray. This isn't the Scream Factory edition, but, pretty cool. Not much design of the disc, but pretty cool cover. I enjoy that cover art. Halloween 2. Halloween 2 and 3 DVD pack. Gonna try and get through this a lot faster, so you guys are gonna be hearing less talking now. But Halloween 4 and 5. 4 is definitely a great sequel, in my opinion. 5 is decent. Probably one of the worst ones, but still, I didn't hate it. It was okay, but it was not nearly as good as 4, not nearly as good as 3, and not nearly as good as the original 2, or as 1 and 2. 5 is just a very lazy sequel. So that's Halloween 4 and 5. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. I used to say this movie was decent. I don't know anymore. It's honestly very boring whenever I watch it now, so mostly crap. Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. Halloween H2O. I never got why people love this movie. I get it that Jamie Lee Curtis is in there, but I never got why so many people love this movie to death. People say this is one of their favorite ones in the franchise. I'm like, yes, Jamie Lee Curtis is in this, but what else is good about this movie? Because I hate the score, I hate the way the movie looks. In my opinion, it doesn't fit a Halloween movie. In my opinion, there's hardly any suspense. It's very boring at times. Death scenes are like nothing, so I'm just wondering of why everybody loves this movie to death. I never got why people love this movie. Besides the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis is in there. Besides that, everything else was not that good. So I'm not a fan of this movie. I definitely would get a rant when I review it, but I do not like this movie. I'm not a fan of it. So, Halloween H2O. But it is not nearly as bad as Halloween Resurrection. This 5, 6 are probably, and Halloween, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, which we'll talk about in a second, are probably some of the worst ones in the franchise. But Halloween Resurrection, this is probably the worst one. I'd say this is the worst one because you have the most bullcrap way for Michael Myers to come back. And they just kill off Jamie Lee Curtis's character. So, very, very bad movie. Halloween Resurrection, crap. Then we get to Rob Zombie's Halloween. I am not a fan of how Rob Zombie took away Michael Myers' mystery. I'm not really a big fan of this remake. Honestly, before in the past, I would say that if I review this, it wouldn't be a rant. But now, it probably would be a rant if I review this movie, because the more I think about it, it's just everything in this movie took away Michael Myers' mystery and what made Michael Myers Michael Myers. So, I don't like that. It does have some decent features, though. This is the theatrical cut, which is much better than the unrated cut. So yeah, that's the theatrical cut. 2-disc special edition of Halloween, the theatrical cut. This one I do hate. I hate this cut because you included extra scenes that made the scenes freaking boring. Hardly any gore and special effects were added, and the new scenes were scenes that weren't needed. Why would you put a rape scene in a Halloween movie? This is Halloween. This is supposed to be about suspense and, using atmosphere. And you put a rape scene in a Halloween movie? I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. Rob Zombie and the new stuff in this movie just didn't make sense. This, of course, is the Blockbuster exclusive. This is when they were going out of business. And when you went there, you could get some cheap DVDs. But I never got why Rob Zombie put a rape scene in there. I never got why he extended certain scenes, changed certain scenes. It didn't work. It was terrible. This version right here is 10 times worse than this version. I don't like this version either, but I absolutely hate this version of Rob Zombie's Halloween because the new stuff is either boring, unneeded, unnecessary, and just made it more crappy. So yeah, screw the uncut version of Rob Zombie's Halloween. I hate this version. It's pure dog crap. But yet again, it is not nearly as bad as Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. This is the unrated director's cut. I really don't want to get the theatrical cut. It's not that much different, anyways. I did see it. I watched it, and it wasn't really that much different than this movie. Couple things, but not really that much. Mainly the ending was different. Bad, terrible, terrible, awful film. If you guys hated Rob Zombie's Halloween, oh gosh. This one is about 1,000 times worse. This one is freaking boring. This one's just stupid. This one's just dumb. This one took the freaking, I don't know, trying to make this background, the supernatural background for Michael Myers, with, the whole thing with white horses, the whole thing with Michael Myers being a kid, and, at the same time, there's a hobo Michael Myers with no mask on, he barely wears the mask in the movie at all. When he does wear the mask, I mean, it just, and the mask is all torn to pieces. It's like barely even a mask in this movie. And he barely wears it. Looks like a freaking homeless man walking around, like a freaking, just terrible, terrible movie. Terrible, terrible freaking movie. On to the next franchise, which, of course, is the Evil Dead films. I love this franchise. There's not one from this franchise that I hate. I love all three. Well, I love the first three movies, and the fourth movie I thought was actually a decent remake. Evil Dead is one of those movies that I can watch over and over and over again and marvel at the brilliance of this film, because it is just so awesome to watch this movie. So many special effects behind it. And with the little budget they had, they made a really well-made movie. And I did see the actual inspiration for this movie. I did see the original short film made by Sam Raimi called Into the Woods, I believe. And it's well done. I actually really enjoyed it. This was actually, they made that, and I believe they made this, and this is awesome. Evil Dead is an awesome movie. Once again, Evil Dead 2 is one of those movies I can watch over and over again. It's awesome. Great sequel. Really enjoyed it. Army of Darkness, again, not really as scary as the other two, but, pretty good movie. Really enjoy it. Definitely a classic. And the Evil Dead remake from 2013, which is actually pretty decent in my opinion. DVD is not that much, but decent movie. Getting into the next franchise on this list, we have Phantasm 2. Phantasm 4, Oblivion. Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead Ashes to Ashes. Pretty crappy. Scream. Scream 2. I'm just trying to speed up the process here, guys, so I'm not really talking that much. I'm just going to tell you guys the names of the movie and, just continue on with the list. But Scream 2. Scream 3. Scream 4. The Chucky box set with all the movies up to number 6. I believe, yeah, number 6. Saw, the uncut edition. Really awesome DVD. Saw 2, the 2-disc special edition. Again, a very, very cool DVD, as you guys can see there. The key in the eyeball reappears and disappears. Very, very, very cool DVD. Saw 3, the director's cut. Actually, big fan of this movie. I'm not really sure why it gets so much hate. Really, really cool edition. It's got a second disc and a lot of features. Pretty cool movie. I actually really enjoy it. It's definitely underrated. Saw 4. This is the uncut version, the unrated director's cut. It's okay. Saw 5. This again is the unrated director's cut. This movie freaking sucks. Saw 5 sucks. Saw 6, these movies are kind of backwards for some reason, but Saw 6, the unrated version or unrated edition. Really, really enjoyed this movie. And Saw 7, the final chapter. Complete crap. We've got Hatchet. Great modern day slasher film. Hatchet 3. Great sequel. Laid to Rest. Chrome Skull Laid to Rest 2. Hostel. This is the 2-disc director's cut. Hostel Part 2. Again, unrated. And Hostel Part 3, the unrated version. So guys, that's it for this shelf right here. When I cut the video again, you guys will see me over at that shelf. So anyways, guys, I will see you guys there. See you guys there. And guys, we're over here at this DVD shelf. Be starting off with, these are sort of movies that are either films that don't have sequels or films that I don't have the sequels to yet. So we have Orphan. Orphan's a pretty decent horror film. You're Next. The Cabin in the Woods. This is the DVD that I own. Really, really awesome DVD. Cain and See No Evil. The Strangers, unrated. Oops. Cujo, classic. Rest Stop, Dead Ahead. Black Christmas, the remake, which is total crap. Rosemary's Baby, I actually have not seen yet, but I do definitely want to watch it. The Wolfman remake, which I did a mega ultra freaking rant on. Well, we got Dracula. This, of course, is the remake from, I believe, 1994, 93. I can't remember, but I think it was 92, 93, maybe even 94. I can't remember. But this is the Bram Stoker remake from the 90s. We also got Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. As well as Stephen King's It. Very, very well made movie. Silent Night, Deadly Night. Very, 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 very great slasher film. Dead Silence. It's okay. Desperation. It's alright. Salem's Lot. I didn't get into this movie. Actually, I did a rant on this film. Mainly because it was very boring. Really didn't get into this movie. Creepshow 2. A very, decent sequel. Fright Night 2 New Blood. I don't have the original Fright Night, or I don't have the remake, or Fright Night Part 2. This is the only one that I own, Fright Night 2 New Blood. This is probably the only one I can find right now. So until I can find any other movies, those are the only ones I got right now. But we have Piranha. Not the biggest fan of that movie either. Would definitely be a rant if I would do a review on it. No Country for Old Men. Did a review on this movie. Classic. The Happening. It's pretty decent. I mean, it's not as bad as... I don't think it's as bad as people say it is, but it's okay. Van Helsing. Big fan of this movie. Next up is Valentine. Not really the greatest horror movie. I'll be honest. It wasn't really that good. The Rage, Carrie 2. It's crap. The Descent. The unrated, or like the original unrated cut. Love this movie. Great horror film. Cabin Fever 2 with Cabin Fever's disc. The first Cabin Fever's disc on the inside of this case. But yeah, Cabin Fever 2, Spring Fever, Wolf Creek. Really enjoyed this movie. Very, very well made horror film. Then this is the only Joyride movie I have, and that's Joyride 2 Dead Ahead. I do not own the first one or the third one yet, but I definitely want to pick them up one day. Cloverfield, I'll give it a review one day. And I'll give it also another watch and see if I like it or not. But it'll be a rant because right now I'm not really the biggest fan of it. Yeah, Cloverfield. Stir of Echoes, actually a film I have not seen in a long time. So last time I watched it, it was okay, but it was okay. But I haven't seen it in a long time. Very, very long time. So yeah, Stir of Echoes, Halloween 3, The Marsupials, Howling Reborn, which is, from what I've heard, one of the worst ones in the series. The Mist, decent horror film. Silver Bullet, pretty good. Really enjoyed it. Return to House on Haunted Hill. This, of course, is the sequel to the remake. Pretty gory, pretty bloody, but not really much else to it. It has a crappy atmosphere and a crappy cast, and yeah, not a good movie. Not this movie. This is a masterpiece, but I'm talking about Return to House on Haunted Hill. Very, very bad sequel. But this movie is a masterpiece. American Werewolf from London. Classic. Then we've got Mirrors with Kiefer Sutherland from The Lost Boys. I haven't seen it yet, but I definitely want to give it a watch one day. I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. The only reason why I own this is because the only one that I can find. I cannot find the first or the second movie. Then The Crow, City of Angels. I do have The Crow for DVD, but it's over at my mom's. But yeah, this is The Crow, City of Angels. I actually really enjoyed this sequel. Not really sure why everybody hates it. I thought it was actually pretty good. So yeah, The Crow, City of Angels. Night of the Demons, the remake. Not the best remake out there. Definitely a pretty bad remake. And then this one is... I can get the case open. Well, it's upside down, but 30 Days of Night. Very, very well made vampire film. Feast. I don't own the sequels. Very, very gory, fun time. Grave Encounters 2, which is not really that good of a film. Dracula 3 Legacy, I haven't seen it yet. I really honestly don't want to. I picked it up for like $1. The Last Exorcism. Pretty good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. And down here we've got The Hitcher, which I love this movie, but I also have the remake, which from what I've heard is pretty bad, but I'm not even sure where that's at. But I do have the remake as well. but I love this movie. Hitcher, this movie is awesome. Yeah, The Hitcher. And then Jaws, the 30th anniversary edition. This is a very, very, very well made DVD. Very, very well made. So it's Jaws. Then we've got The Purge, which did a review for this movie as well. The Purge. Insidious. I really do want to pick up the sequels. Mimic. Movie I'm interested in seeing. One Missed Call. Probably considered one of the best one of the best American adaptations of the Japanese horror films. This and The Grudge are probably considered, and The Ring are probably considered some of the best ones. Haven't seen it yet though. And next movie is Red Eye. Really enjoyed it. Did a review on it. And then we got I Am Legend. I enjoyed I Am Omega a little bit more. So I don't know. I just thought it was a better movie. Vampire, John Carpenter's Vampires. I have not seen this yet, but I really do want to see it. So yeah, John Carpenter's Vampires. Then we've got 13 Ghosts. Pretty good remake. And of course, guys, I'll have to cut it back, and then I will show you guys the DVDs down here because I put the rest of the DVDs down here. So I'll see you guys in a second. Alright, guys. Welcome to the final shelf on this, shelf. Welcome to the final row of DVDs on this shelf. This is basically down here a bunch of like DVD packs that come with like 5 or 6 movies. Some of them come with 8 movies, stuff like that. This is a 3-pack with The Possession, Cabin in the Woods, and Sinister. This is a Blu-ray pack. Very, very cool. Next up is the Voodoo Curses 8 movies, The Midnight Horror Collection. I'm actually going to sell these because I have no interest in seeing any of these movies. Honestly, guys, I just picked up to maybe see if there's any movies on here to watch, but they all so far bored me, so yeah, not really the greatest box set. Although it does have Killjoy 2, so that's pretty cool, but again, pretty bad DVD collection. Yeah, I don't know. It's the Midnight Horror Collection. I mean, what more can you say about it than it's the Midnight Horror Collection? I mean, usually they have bad movies. This is the Children of the Corn Collection. I lost most of the Children of the Corn movies, but, you know, there's still the Halloween movies, and then there's also still 5, 6, and Revelation? Yeah, Revelation. I still have 5, 6, and Revelation, but I don't own 4, 3, or 2. I do have 3 and 2 separately, though. Or no, I don't have 3. I have 3 separately, though, on DVD, as well as 6 separately on DVD, which I'll get to in a second. But this is the 9-film collection with Halloween and Children of the Corn. Next up is the Puppet Master 3-film set, Midnight Horror. I gotta sell this DVD because I don't really have any more use for it because I already have a 9-film collection with the Puppet Master franchise. This is my old 4-pack DVDs for Nightmare on Elm Street. These are very old DVDs. Then I have the It's Alive trilogy on DVD. Of course, it's a remake as well. But the first movie is Second movie was not that good. It's Alive 3 freaking sucked. It's Alive 1 was, I don't know, I mean, it's okay. Not really the best franchise. I don't know, the idea is definitely creepy about a mutant baby. But, you know, the first movie's probably the best one, and it's just okay. You know, I didn't mind it. The second movie I'm not the biggest fan of. It just wasn't that interesting in my opinion. 3 was pretty bad. I mean, you got pretty outlandish idea behind it. But I haven't seen it in a while, so maybe it is going to be decent if I watch it again. But 2 and 3 were not really that good. I wasn't a big fan of those movies, but I thought the first movie was okay. We have the Boogeymen Killer compilation. which I did a video about, did a review on it. It's alright. Could have been better. And then we have a horror 8 movie pack with films such as Chopping Mall, Slaughter High, the uncut version, class of 1999, Chud 2, Ghoulies 3, 976 Evil 2, Waxwork, and The Unholy, and that's pretty much it. So, it's got some pretty good movies in there, Chopping Mall and stuff like that, which I've heard about. We got the Puppet Master 9 movie collection. Very, very well done DVD. Not much for features, but it's well done. The Wes Craven Horror Collection. Serpent and the Rainbow, Shocker, and People Under the Stairs. This is a really good collection. The Shining and Full Metal Jacket. Pretty cool. And of course, the Trimmers Attack Pack, Trimmers 1 through 4. So anyways, guys, that's this shelf, and be a quick cut, and I'll see you guys on the final shelf. See you guys there. And of course, guys, I almost forgot about these two little shelves right here. Before I get to this shelf, I will talk about these DVDs. First up, we got the Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 2. We got Quarantine 2, Terminal. 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. And we've got The Dead, Zombieland, Dead and Deader. Oops. House of the Dead. Okay. I'll just get Resident Evil out first. We got Resident Evil. We've got Resident Evil Apocalypse. Resident Evil Extinction. Resident Evil Afterlife. And Resident Evil Retribution. Also got Return of the Living Dead 3. Return of the Living Dead Necropolis. And Return of the Living Dead Rave to the Grave. We got Night of the Living Dead, the original film. This is the black and white version, remastered with a lot of features. Definitely a lot better than the last DVD that I had. Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead, the remake, 1990. Dawn of the Dead, the remake, and Land of the Dead remake in a 2-movie collection, uncut versions. Pretty good DVD. Day of the Dead, the remake. Crappy. The Zombie Diaries. And Zombie Diaries 2. So I will be seeing you guys on the final shelf in a second. Alright guys, on to the top shelf of this, shelf. I guess I don't freaking know what to say, but this top, shelf. What the freak ever, but anyways, the Abandoned, Unearthed, Unrest, Dark Ride, the Leprechaun 4-pack, Leprechaun Back to the Hood, Leprechaun Origins, Species, Species 3, The Blair Witch Project, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, Open Water, Open Water 2, Adrift, Boogeyman, Boogeyman 2, Boogeyman 3, Prom Night, Prom Night 3 and 4, Prom Night the Remake, My Bloody Valentine, My Bloody Valentine 3D Remake, Rob Zombie's House of Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, the Alien Trilogy DVD pack, Predator, Predator 2, Predators, we got AVP, we got AVPR, or Aliens vs. Predators Requiem. We got The Thing, which is very messed up right here, but The Thing DVD, The Thing Blu-ray, The Thing prequel, The Exorcist, The Exorcist 3, Exorcist The Beginning, and then sort of had to kneel down here, guys, but we have Wrong Turn, we got Wrong Turn 2, Dead End, we got Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead, then Wrong Turn 4, Bloody Beginnings, Wrong Turn 5, Bloodlines, Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort, then we have Children of the Corn, Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest, Children of the Corn 666, Isaac's Return, Children of the Corn, the remake, Children of the Corn Genesis, I Spit on Your Grave, the original and the remake double pack DVD set, I Spit on Your Grave 2, there's the Hitcher remake, it's over here. We've also got Lake Placid, Lake Placid 2, Urban Legend, we got Urban Legend's Final Cut, we got Hannibal, which I swear it is hard to find the Silence of the Lambs DVD, Red Dragon, Hannibal Rising, White Noise, White Noise 2, or oops, that one's backwards. The Omen, the original film. Omen 4, The Awakening, pretty crappy sequel. We have the Omen remake, which is, everybody knows the Omen remake is one of the greatest remakes of all time. Not. Planet Terror, awesome movie. Death Proof, again, not as good as Planet Terror, but still a good movie. Oh yeah, Jeepers Creepers, Jeepers Creepers 2, Vacancy. We have Vacancy 2, the first cut. Actually, a pretty decent prequel. We have Underworld,
Underworld Evolution, Underworld Rise of the Lycans, and Underworld Awakening. So see you guys on the second shelf. Hey guys, welcome back to this second shelf. And today, I was so used to doing intros to videos, but today we're going on the second shelf of the video, or the second shelf of the of this DVD shelf, and here's Blade. And we got Blade 2, Blade Trinity, The Ring 2, The Grudge, The Grudge 2, The Hills Have Eyes, the original, classic, The Hills Have Eyes remake, The Hills Have Eyes 2 remake, From Dusk Till Dawn, From Dusk Till Dawn 2, Texas Blood Money, From Dusk Till Dawn 3, The Hangman's Daughter, Final Destination, Final Destination 2, Final Destination 3, The Final Destination, and Final Destination 5. We got Paranormal Activity, Paranormal Activity 2, Paranormal Activity 3, Paranormal Activity 4, and Paranormal Activity the Marked Ones. The Ghost Dimension, I will get that movie whenever it goes on discount because I heard it was bad. Hollow Man. We got Hollow Man 2, pretty bad sequel. Silent Hill, pretty good movie. Silent Hill Revelation, crappy. The Amityville Horror 2-movie pack. And yes, guys, I actually found Amityville 4, The Evil Escapes. I don't know how I found it, but I found it for pretty cheap. The Last House on the Left, the original. The Last House on the Left, the remake. The Fog, the original. The Fog remake from 2005. Darkman. And Darkman 2, Return of Durant. Wow, guys, that was a lot of DVDs. I believe, okay, those are the ones I already went over, but a lot of DVDs, guys. But anyways, guys, I'll probably be uploading this video tomorrow because I don't want to upload it tonight because it's already late. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching my horror movie collection video, part 2 or take 2. And thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next review. Bye, guys.